Welcome to Resco Winter Product Update. I am very excited with the team to bring you the latest news about the features and enhancement what we have been focused in the last development cycle. Today with me I have a product managers who will tell you about the news in this product release. Tibor will show you how we are evolving our low-code, no-code platform for making business applications. Ludo will be talking about the new inspections functionalities and show you why our questionnaires are best in class for data collection in complex scenarios. Michal will tell you about our AI ambition and how we are utilizing AI so far. And my name is Eduard and I'm head of product and I will be moderating this session. To the content of the webinar. For this release, we have had 3 product teams we wanted to address. First one was related to the user experience and user interface, with the goal to address the usability of our products and our tools. Second one is related to the productivity, with the goal to increase the effectiveness of the users, decreasing the time or save costs. And the last one is related to the AI and how AI is helping individual users to finish their job. Today's webinar will be structured as usually in blocks. First one, we will start with the features in Resco platform, Woodford and our mobile application. Second block will be about our inspections and questionnaires functionalities. Third one, we will talk about our solutions for the Power Platform and what we are doing there. This will be followed by the guides functionalities, and we will finish the webinar with a Q&A session. Now let's start with the first block, and we will be talking about what we have delivered for the platform.
Thank you, Edo, for the introduction. My name is Tibor, and I will be telling you about the new features that we have delivered in the 17.0 release for Resco Platform. Resco Platform is our flagship product, which is providing advanced mobility for Microsoft Dynamics, Power Platform, and Salesforce, and it has unparalleled offline capabilities. The 3 groups of features that we have delivered within this release are the following. First of all, we were trying to improve the mobile user experience, so for the users who are in the field. Secondly, we have delivered a bunch of features that are making mobile projects easier to build and quicker to set up. And thirdly, we have also delivered a few improvements in our data and sync engine. Let's see the first group, which is about the improved mobile user experience. The first section is about the form UI improvements. And here, actually, the driver behind these changes is very simple. We want our mobile users to be able to use their applications in a much easier way without too much thinking. So all the forms should be straightforward. And if a user opens the application, it should be clear for him what he has to do. The first solution for this problem are the cards and flexible forms. This element was previously incorrectly referred to as tabs, but in fact they are not really tabs, they are cards. What the cards bring, you can see on the pictures here. So previously it was not really clear which fields belong together. Now with the new design, what you can see on the right side, it's much more clearer that these fields form one uniform part and they belong together. You can of course customize the design of these cards, including the background, border, all the parameters within Woodford in the theme editor. The next feature are the introduction of chips. The aim of chips is to improve the visibility of selected options in the multi-select drop-down fields. Where previously the visibility of the selected elements was a little bit poor, now it's significantly improved with the chips design. You can also see here in the picture that while previously all the selected fields were in a one long string, and for the user it sometimes wasn't very clear how many options has he selected, now with the new chip design it's much more straightforward and he can remove one selection easily by tapping on an X next to the selected field without the need to expand the drop-down as he needed to do it previously. Additionally, single and multiple choice fields can be also displayed as segmented buttons. The value of this is actually that previously he had to expand the drop-downs to see all the values here. Now he can see all his options at the first glance. This option actually makes sense if the options are limited, ideally 5 or less. So we do not recommend to apply it for very long fields where you have to scroll. But if you have a limited set of options, this is ideal to use. Additionally, segmented buttons can be also optionally utilized for two options choices. This control, if it was used in a little bit more complicated scenarios than a simple on-off switch, the users had to click, as you can see on the video, what is the other option there. With the new feature, actually both options are immediately visible, so for the user it is clear at the first glance what he has to select. Important to note here that this feature is already available in Resco platform, but it's coming to Resco inspections in the next release, so sometime by the end of May. I'm certain that these new features can help significantly to make the user navigation in the forms easier and faster, so be sure to give them a try and also let us know how your mobile users will be reacting to that. For us, it is a very valuable feedback how we can develop these features further. Okay, moving away from the design, the next feature that we have introduced is photo saving in local storage. This feature was requested by a bunch of users. Actually, the scenario here is again very simple. Mobile users, when they take a photo in the mobile CRM application, they very often want to keep a local copy of the photo in their local storage so that they can share it with a colleague through WhatsApp, they can email it to the customer or keep it for further reference. Up to now, it was not possible, but with this new release, we have introduced an additional switch in Woodford and also in the mobile CRM application. So in the settings, you can activate if you want to save the photos in the local storage as well. And of course, since control and governance for us is extremely important, Woodford admins have the possibility to block this setting so that for the users it's not visible and still the photos are just kept within the mobile CRM application and not saved in the local gallery. By default, this feature is off. So if you want to enable it, you need to go into the settings and turn it on. And additionally, we have also introduced 4 new languages that the mobile application can be translated to. These languages are Dari, which is a variety of Persian, spoken in parts of Afghanistan, Hausa, which is spoken in northern Nigeria, Kinyarwanda, which is the national language of Rwanda, and also Central Kurdish. These languages were requested by non-profit organizations operating in the areas of Africa and Middle East. So I hope that these will be helpful for them and they can continue their beneficial journey. The next big group of features is focused on Woodford with the goal to enable creating better mobile apps faster. The first big feature is the AI Woodford Assistant. The problem that we are trying to tackle in this feature is that Woodford has a really extensive set of features and also a really extensive set of documentation. And finding the right answer often can be a little bit complicated because you need to search the wiki and so on. But fortunately, we can leverage the power of AI here. So what we did is that we fed all the content from our wiki, from the blog posts and all the documentation into a ChatGPT-powered chatbot, which is available in Woodford. So as you can see on the video, you can click on the upper right corner and you can access the chatbot and you can ask the questions you have in natural language, just as like would be conversing with ChatGPT. It is important to note that this feature is available on request. So if you want to try it out, make sure to send us an email on productteam@resco.net. Do it right now. That's the best way. Send us the ID of our organization. You can find it in the URL of Woodford if you open it on your Dynamics environment. So drop us an email. We will enable it and let us know your feedback. The next feature, which is my personal favorite, is the embedded code editor. As you surely know, business logic in Woodford relies on the rule editor, which is an excellent no-code approach. But the moment you want to build something more advanced, you need to very often resort to JavaScript, which requires a different set of skills, often a programmer's approach. And we had a variety of feature requests, how to improve and what to add into the rule editor. The most requested features being temporary disabling section of rules, exporting sections of rules, adding comments, and copying and pasting variables. How we have solved it? With the 17.0 release, there's an embedded code editor which is based on Visual Studio Code available in the rule editor, in the sync filter editor, and in the offline HTML editor. This code editor is bringing syntax highlighting for improved readability and ease of copy-paste. It has a rich command palette that you surely know from Visual Studio Code with advanced features such as commenting, replacing tests, regess search, etc. The value of this feature is that it is bridging the gap between the existing no-code approach, which was the Resco rule editor, and the advanced code approach via the Resco JS bridge, and you can actually create more advanced business logic without the need to utilize your programmers and resort to writing JavaScript code. Offline availability and the sync engine are flagship features of our product, so of course there could be no release without improvements in this area. The first improvement and the first new feature is the Data Model Explorer. So what does it serve for? Actually, if you want to optimize your sync and you realize that your sync process is not performing as you would be expecting, the easiest way how to do it is to check what fields have you enabled and disable the fields that are not needed for your mobile users. But how to do it? So far it was a little bit complicated because you had to go into each and every enabled entity, check all the fields that you have enabled here and disable them if they are not needed. Now with the Data Model Explorer we have simplified this process. So we have created a brand new page in Woodford which is available on the left pane, and this is the Data Model Explorer. Here you can see in a single pane of glass all the entities and all their settings in a single table. So you can see a list of all the entities, you can see the parent relations, you can see the number of columns that are enabled in each entity, you can see what type of sync is set up, and you can also filter based on these settings. This page allows you to directly jump into the entity detail and make the required adjustments there. So I'm certain that this feature will help you extremely when you want to optimize your sync engine, and actually you can make the footprint of the sync data much smaller with the help of this. The next thing, I would call it as a smaller quality of life improvements, is the plugin Search and Sort. So plugins for Dynamics handle special cases that during the sync process, when some records are deleted, that's so that they are reflected in the related entities. Previously, the list of these plugins was a little bit messy, so there was no option to search and sort. And if you wanted to enable or disable a plugin, you had to actually go line by line. Now with this new release, we have revamped this table a bit. So actually there's a context search available and you can sort by various columns. So actually you are able to move on much faster and find the setting and the plugin that you are looking for. The next feature that we are introducing is the not older than operator. So operator is actually a filtering criteria, and it's utilized also in the mobile app, but mostly in sync filters, where you are telling actually Woodford what data you want to sync and what data you want to make available for your mobile users. So previously there was no such option as not older than. So if you wanted your mobile users to see their, for example, recent work orders, you had to make two filtering criteria. One criteria was actually telling how much in the past you want to sync the data, and the second criteria was telling how much in the future you want to sync the data. Like you can see on the example here, I want to sync the data for the last 10 days and for the next 50 days. But of course, it's not something truly not older than, because it's not syncing infinitely in the future. With the new feature, what we have introduced is this new operator, where you actually very simply can enter not older than and the number of days, and it means it will sync all the data into the mobile application that is from the past 10 days and infinitely into the future. This feature also works in the mobile application, so your mobile users are able to filter this data based on this very same criteria. Additional to the previously mentioned new features, we have also introduced a few sync optimizations. So firstly, we have increased the default download page size for faster sync, but also we gave the possibility to you to customize your download page size, so you can now access it from the Woodford project settings. Additionally, we made two improvements for the sync engine with the Salesforce backend, significantly improving the sync time for the content document link entity. And additionally, we have introduced the possibility to sync only files related to records, what also significantly increases the sync performance. And last but not least, we have also migrated away from the Xamarin framework, which is being deprecated by Microsoft by May 2024. So all our internal components are updated to .NET version 7, with the benefits that Resco products are built on up-to-date technologies, and the compatibility with the operating system app stores is ensured for the future as well. That's all from my side. Thank you very much for the attention, and I'm giving over the mic to Ludo, who will tell you about the improvements in the inspections.
Hello everyone, and thank you that you joined us today. What I'm going to show you are new features that you will have available in 17.0 version of our tool, and that you will have in your inspections product. Let's start with the first one. And this is our import-export wizard that we upgraded and made much better for the administrators or people who are creating the questionnaire templates. What was the problem is that when you were importing the questionnaires between environments like development and production environments, it was hard to keep questionnaire templates and questionnaires report associated, and there was really low control over what you are importing and exporting. So this was the problem previously, but now after the upgrade, we have two new wizards. One is export wizard and one is import wizard. What you can see in the video is the import wizard. In the export, when you are exporting, you can pick which associated report templates you want to export together with questionnaire templates, and you have even ability to, or you have more control over which versions of questionnaire templates you want to export. And during import process, again, you have much more control over which questionnaire versions you want to import, which reports you want to import, and even you can change from non-versioned templates to version templates. This is really great for the administrators who are creating questionnaires and moving between dev and production environments, as I mentioned. Second feature that we want to talk about today and show you is questionnaire repeat command. What this is, or what problem it really solves, in case when you are, for example, registering refugees and you are filling in identical questionnaire over and over again, it took a time to really find this questionnaire and repeatedly fill it in. The process was working in a way that you have this questionnaire, you fill it in, saved it, you had to go to list of questionnaire templates, find the identical questionnaire, open it, fill it in, and again you need to find identical questionnaire. So it took time to really do the search for the questionnaire template. What we do now is that we have really two new commands available, as you will see in the video. And one is save, close, open new, and second is complete, close, open new. And as you can see right now, the person clicked on the command and the same identical questionnaire was again opened, and you can start filling in identical questionnaire. So for example, when you are registering refugees, you can repeatedly open the same questionnaire from the previous questionnaire, or when you are doing the inspection of the same device, machinery, you can repeatedly open the same questionnaire without need to search for it. Another feature that we show you is media question check. This was requested by few clients who wanted to extend capabilities of our JS bridge, because until now it was not possible to check whether image media question was filled in, meaning it was not possible to check via JS bridge if the inspector took a photo and is right now placed in the questionnaire. So what we did is we only put here a new method into JS bridge, and right now you are capable of checking if the photo is taken or not. And thanks to this, it provides you with more capabilities, or capability to do more extended workflows via JS bridge. Another feature that we want to show you is reuse answers in questionnaires. This is really existing feature and we are extending its capabilities. So what was possible until now was that you reused all answers between groups, but there was no capability to reuse specific answers between groups. I will explain this on the images that are on the screen. There is upper image and bottom image. Both are the same repeatable group. You have answers for floor number and photo. Until now, you were able to reuse none of the answers or both of the answers at the same time. What this caused is that if the answers were reused, the inspector, when the second repeatable group was opened, he had to, for example, delete a photo because he had to take a new photo. And this really can make this is really prone to mistakes when you are having more complex questionnaires, because the answers are pre-filled and the inspector had to delete them if they forgot to delete something, incorrect information were in the questionnaire. So right now, what's possible to do is that you can specify which answers should be reused. In the example that we have, the photo may be disabled for reusing. It means in each repeatable group, the inspector needs to take a photo, but floor number is always reused from previous group. This allows them to fill in questionnaires faster because no deleting of existing answers needs to be done, and it even increases the quality the quality of data. Another feature that we developed is questionnaire designer options dialog. What we really were solving by this feature is that until now, there were many options that you were able to use in the questionnaire designer, but they were spread out throughout the questionnaire designer. You have them on different places, you had to search for them, and some of them were not even known to many users of the designer tool. So from now, you will have all these functions and features, the options, in one dialog, as you can see on the screen. So everything is in one place, easy to find, easy to change. It makes the work with the questionnaire designer much easier and faster. Another feature is Edit Styles button. So this is in regards to styles that you can edit in the questionnaire designer. And right now there is a problem that it takes a lot of time to really change the design or the style of separate answers or fields or parts of the questionnaire, and even many mistakes are being done during this process. I will explain on a video. As you can see on the video, I want to change one style. I need to go to whole style settings. Now I need to search for the style. If I forgot the name, I need to return back, again read the name of the style and then change it and search for it and change it. Or sometimes even happens that people change different style that they wanted to edit, so they just make a mistake in the questionnaire. What we did right now is that we added this pencil icon next to each style. It means that when you click on this pencil, the style is opened, but I mean this exact style that you want to edit is opened. So from now, you don't need to search for the style in the styles options or in the styles part, and you can really quickly change it, and we will make less mistakes while changing the styles of the questionnaires. And last feature for inspections that we have is OCR, or in other words, optical character recognition. Problem that we are solving with this feature is that many times it takes significant time to retype a question or retype the text from some label that the inspector is reading or have in the field. And even many times on a keyboard, on a mobile phone, people make mistakes or typos while writing. So OCR is great for this, because right now you will have capability to take a photo and scan the label and paste the data into text or multiple lines of text question types. And great thing is that it works even offline. And I will show it to you on a video. Right now you see the mobile phone, person can capture a photo, and you have really two ways how to set this up. One is that the person takes a photo, picks a text, and it's saved into the answer. Or you can take one photo and fill in multiple answers from one photo. And as you can see, you just pick which text you want to fill in, and you go one answer after the other, and you just fill it in. And of course, you can even retype the answers if you want to add something or delete some part. And this is it for inspections. Thank you for listening and watching, and welcome my colleague Michal.
Thank you, Ludo. And now it's time to take a look on the guides. We have a lot of interesting features this release. They are all connected with AI features, so let's take a look on them. Starting with the generating guides from the documents. The problem is if you want to create a guide, you need to take the manual or the document which describes some process or setup of the device, read it, try to find the most relevant part, and then write it into the guide within the guides editor. This is a long process, and what we would like to implement and provide our customers is that if you want to speed up the process of the guides creation, you can use, for example, AI to make it much more faster. So let's start with an example. You have a chair with a description how to set up it. If you want to create a guide that describes this process of the chair setup, you need to read it and then manually write the whole guide. What we implement is the feature when you upload the document and the guide will be created automatically. Let me show you how it works. So here is the manual which describes the chair setup in the PDF. If I want to create the guide, I need to go to the guides editor, then create the guide from the PDF, select the file, and just hit create document. In this process, we upload the document to the AI, read it, and automatically create steps, description, tips, and warnings. So you speed up the whole process. For sure, you need to take a look on it if everything fits fine, if everything is described correctly, but you have the first draft which you can use for creating of the guide itself. This functionality is beneficial mostly for people who are creating guides. So we save their time and they are able to create the guide from the previous document that they had, or if they have, for example, the website that they can use. So they basically take the content, upload it, and we use OpenAI to transform it to the guide. The product is obvious, it's Resco Guides and also available for the Steps Plus on the Power Platform. Regarding the backends, we have the support of the Dataverse, D635, and Resco Cloud. For sure, availability is a part of the release, so it's available within release 17.0. It's a part of the license of the guide, and this functionality is on demand. So if you would like to try this feature, please contact us. Second feature, which is also AI-powered, is automatic translation. As far as you remember, there was a functionality that we provide the localization of the guides in the last release. So we wanted to allow our users to create guides in multiple languages. But the process was, let's say, complicated because you need to go through each guide step by step, translate each description, tip, warning, whatever. So what we did, when you go to the guides editor, there is a functionality of localization as it was in previous release. And now we just add the AI translate. So you need to select the secondary language, hit the AI translate, and you get complete translation of all steps, description, tips, and warnings automatically. For this feature, we are again using OpenAI. So what is the value? The primary value is that the people who are creating the guides, the knowledge base managers, they don't need to translate each guide step by step, but they can do it with one simple action, which is the AI translation feature. The products, obviously, it's a part of the guides and Steps Plus, supporting backends like Dataverse, Dynamics 365, and Resco Cloud. Availability in latest release 17.0, part of the licensing of the guide, and again, this feature is also available only for people who will contact us. We just need your organization ID to enable this feature for you. Automatic tagging, the next feature, which is also AI-powered. If you know, the problematics of tagging is pretty huge when you are collaborating with a lot of people. So the problem is that everybody just create their own tagging system, their own tags, labels, and after a couple of weeks, you are able to find a lot of logic that people use, and it's a bit messy to work with such type of labeling and categorization of the data. So that's the reason why we implemented automatic tagging, which is also powered by AI. So what we do is when you want to set up the tagging system, we can generate these tags automatically because we check which tags you have previously used, and we select the tags depending on the content of the guide. So the AI will read the guide and recommend you the relevant tags or labels. So what we did is when you go to the guides editor, then jump into the properties, there is a section of the tags, and there is a button which helps you to create automatic tags depending on previously used tags and depending on the context of the guide. So you don't need to care about if I should create a new label, the new tag, or I can use the previous one, or what are the existing previously used tags. You just hit one button and it will be automatically recommended to you. You can select which one you would like to use or not, but the process is much more easier and better for the categorization of the guides themselves. So what is the value? Primary for knowledge base managers, so they are able to effectively categorize the guides depending on the context, and it's much more easier for them to make the categorization and availability for people who are using the guides in the field, available in the guides and in Steps Plus on the Power Platform, supporting Dataverse, D365 and Resco Cloud, availability this release, licensing, part of the licensing of the guides, and availability again on demand. Next feature is AI Guides Assistant. The problem is if you have a huge amount of content and you would like to provide this content to the people in the field, and this content is not connected with the relevant records in your database, like, for example, assets or work orders, but you would like to provide some simple way how people in the field can interact with the knowledge base, then you can provide the most easiest way how can people interact with the electronic device, and it's a chat. So what we implemented is an AI assistant that you can add to your project, and you can interact with the knowledge base that you created within the chat in the field. And how it works. In the application, just open Guides Assistant and ask the question regarding the topic that you would like to solve. So in this case, I will use the same example, which was the chair from Herman Miller. And I would like to ask how to set up the height of the chair. I will just write the question, and then I will get an answer. This answer is fully generated from the content that you create in the knowledge base. And also, the part of it is a recommendation which guide you can use to jump directly to the guide and check why the question was answered this way. What is also nice, that you can interact with the Guides Assistant in the context. So you can ask additional question, as I did here, and I can ask, and what about the high? And the chat will understand that you are asking about the same chair and referring to the same guide or the same manual. And here I get an answer that if you would like to set up the height of the armchair, I just need to go through these steps. And again, I have a reference to the particular guide here, so I can jump to the guide directly from the chat. And that's it. Value is straightforward. Users in the field can interact with the knowledge base by asking simple questions and interacting without need of some senior people in the back office replying them. Products, part of the guides and Steps Plus on the Power Platform, supporting again Dataverse, D365 and Resco Cloud. Availability, this release, licensing, part of the guides license, and available on demand. So please contact us if you would like to try this feature. Okay, and that's all from my side.
So now we are approaching the end of our webinar, what we have introduced today. We have introduced these functionalities, and on the summary slide, we have developed features which are addressing mainly these three main product teams. One of them is UI and UX, second one is productivity, and third one is artificial intelligence. All those kind of features and feature teams, we have been focusing on this release. Now, all these features, what you have been learning about, they are built for different user personas. They are built for admins or managers or basically mobile or business users. And of course, we can also have another view on these features within this release. We have introduced new features and improvements for mainly these products or product lines, which are namely platform, inspections, and guides. There is one more change what we have introduced during this release and at the beginning of this year. And this is how we process and collect market feedback. We have switched to another product tool, and we started to use Jira for collection of the feature requests from the market. One of the main features and main benefits of having such kind of tool implemented or integrated into the process is that, for example, all those requesters who submit any kind of new feature or feature request can see the status, can see what has been requested in time, so it's much more transparent and visible what has been requested and what's going on with the current feature request.
The answer is pretty easy. Just contact us through the email. You can write an email on productteam@resco.net.
So the other tool may be inspections. And we already started to look at the market, what's happening there. And some initiatives started in the Resco. So in the future, of course, you can expect AI in inspections tool.
At the moment, the OCR is available just in inspections, but is definitely coming to Woodford and the mobile CRM app as well. It will be included in the very next release, which is expected to be released sometime by the end of May, beginning of June.
This is really relevant because we have not touched Power Platform into the details on this presentation. So, Luda?
So quick answer is yes. And longer one, we did a lot of work behind the curtains, so the work that users do not see right now, but this will allow us to make a lot of new updates in the next release, so you can expect a lot more in next few months when we release a new version.